What's happening, everybody? Sean Daniel with Guitar Control here, and today we're talking about how you can really just kind of navigate through the entire fretboard over just one basic chord and then kind of making extensions from that to really help your mind's eye see the fretboard in maybe a different way to kind of really put a lot of these pieces together. And the example we're going to use is going to sound like this. So it's really kind of something that you can do a lot of infinite different things with. You can do it with all types of different chords. We're going to focus on just one chord and kind of things you can extend off of that. So make sure you click the link below because we're going to tab out exactly what we're going to do. And it's good to kind of have a visual guide to help you see exactly what's happening here. All right, so F major is going to be the chord that we're rocking out. 3 on the A string, 3 on the D string, 2 on the G string, 1 on the B string. Okay, so all we're going to do is hit a quick strike of that. You can do it as a bar chord if you want. Doesn't really matter. We got this right here. Now after this, we're going to kind of transition into a different part of the neck. 2 frets higher, okay? So some notes that are always going to go with an F major chord are going to be these right here. 3rd fret on the A string to the 5th fret on the A string, 3rd fret on the D string to the 5th fret on the D string, okay? You can almost think of this as like a tiny 4-note scale that is always going to go with a major chord directly under it, right? So maybe we strike the F chord 2 times, and then do 2 hammer-ons. Hammer, hammer, and then maybe that last note on the 5th fret of the D string, which is G. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to transition into another part of the neck, and we're going to go right here, the 8th fret of the A string. Now this note happens to be an F, which we started up here. Now we're going to go down here. Another way to maybe start thinking about these is in interval terms, the space between 2 notes. If we have this F major chord that gets us into the next part of the neck, I can always think of maybe the 5th fret to the A string to the 8th fret of the A string. 3 frets higher is going to get us into this spot. So we're going from here to here, down to here, okay? So, F major chord. And we're going to end up right here, 8th fret of the A string, okay? Now from here, we're going to play the notes of an F major chord, which happen to be an F, an A, and a C, okay? This is called an arpeggio if you just play the notes, the chord one note at a time. You can do the same thing up here, like doing that differently down here. You can maybe even add the 10th fret of the G string optionally. We're not going to do that right now, but the way I'm going to tab it out is going to be, and then I want you to maybe reach with your ring finger to the 10th fret on the D string. And the reason we're going to do that is because we're going to slide that into the exact same chord we started with, albeit a full octave higher, okay? So, the entire exercise we've got going on is going to sound like this. Okay, now, that's just one way that we're going to talk about it, and that's the way it's going to be tabbed out, but like I'm going to illustrate in a second, there's an infinite amount of ways you can kind of like go off of this and make your own cool stuff, all right? So, right there, we've got the A string, the D string, and the chord on the F major chord into that little spot that we did next. 3, 5 on the A string, 3, 5 on the D string, 2 times on the D string right there. Sliding into the F on the A string. Sliding into the same shape that we started it, 12 frets higher, so now my ring finger is on 15D, middle finger 14G, pointer finger 13B, okay? So. So as you can kind of see, what I already started doing is it kind of dancing around within what we just did. We don't have to do everything in the order that we talked about it. You can maybe just kind of take these 4 notes and just focus in on a couple of them. I'll only play 2 of them. I'll just do the ones on the A string. This could almost be kind of like a way to incorporate your lead playing into your chord playing, because again, all of this stuff is really based on one major chord. Now once I got to that arpeggio, I just started maybe playing a couple notes a few times in a row. And then sliding into that next part. Another thing you can do is you can do these out of order. You can start here. All we're talking about is finding ways to extend a chord you already know, you've already seen. Doesn't even have to be bar chord. We're making it a little bit easier. Doing something in between all these spots on the neck. Okay, now we can move, all this stuff is movable. Let's do another chord, G major. A lot of people play open G major. That's fine, but we're going to keep that same shape. We're 2 frets higher. So now I've got the 5th fret on the A string, 5th fret on the D string, 4th fret on the G string, 3rd fret on the B string. Now that little 4-note spot is right here. 5 to 7 on the A and the D string. And then remember, once we get to here, 3 notes higher is going to give me the G on the A string, which happens to be the 10th fret. Okay, and then I can run that all the way down to the higher part of the neck. Again, 1 octave higher than where I started. Which now this puts me 17, 16, 15 on the D, G, B strings. Which might be kind of, depending on what kind of guitar you're using. I'm using an Ernie Ball Majesty for this. So I can get pretty deep into the top of this spot. So maybe on an acoustic guitar you can't reach that far, but you can still kind of get into this arpeggio and start moving all these different shapes around. So we can start with the F to a G. Really take any of these pieces and kind of incorporate them in your playing. It's not about playing just this one thing, which, like I said, if you do click the link below, there's a tab so you can kind of see it. But what I challenge you to do is take maybe the pieces that you like or the pieces that you're comfortable with, and then start trying to find a way to connect them to chords that you already know. And eventually, the fretboard is going to look a whole lot less complicated. And then you just see these kind of different like patterns and shapes that you can repeat anywhere. And then you'll be a guitar boss. All thanks to your buddy Sean Daniel and your good friends at Guitar Control. So again, make sure you click that link below. Hit subscribe because I got a ton of other videos on here for myself. Other great instructors, so click around. Tell us what you like, what you want to see more of. And again, we're always open to your feedback and suggestions for stuff. So let us know what you think, and I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.